Moment to just ground yourself in your child's pose. When you first arrive to a practice, especially when there's a lot of us here, which is amazing to see, there'll always be these kind of pre-nerves, maybe the little bit of shakes, well, definitely in my case. So we'll just take a couple of moments to connect to the earth beneath us. So we'll reach the hands out in front if you haven't already got them, just placing the forehead onto the earth. And as we just place the forehead onto the earth, see if we can really root through the sitting bones, so almost sinking the bottom down towards the ground. And then come up onto the fingertips, lifting the palms off, just walk them forwards a little bit more. And then gentle little sway from side to side, just settling yourself into the hips. And then take a big breath into the nose. And a big exhale to sigh and let go of the breath. Inhale, feel this expansion across the back body, and with the exhale feel the softening and settling into the earth. One more time, inhale, lift and lengthen, and exhale, soften and ground. We'll just take a couple more rounds like that on your own, keeping the eyes closed. See if we can just settle ourselves into this beautiful space this morning. When we're ready, we're going to rise up onto the fingertips and start to walk the hands over towards the left side of the mat. So they're just coming slightly off the mat, then begin to drop the chin towards the chest and just feel this nice stretch across the right side of the body. Big breath in there. Exhale, let it go. Walk the hands back towards the center and take them over towards the right. Again, drop the chin towards the chest, allow length in the back of the neck, big breath into the left side of the body. Big exhale to sigh and let it go. And slowly walk the fingertips back to center, wave the body up into a tabletop, where we'll begin to cross the legs over and come onto the bottom. Okay, so the option here is maybe take a block underneath the sitting bones. If you don't have a block, you can maybe take a cushion. If you don't have any of that, then you can just come to the earth. That's absolutely fine. Round to the back. So when we come into a cross-legged position in yoga, we take this time to just protect the knees. So a gentle little flex to the feet. And then if you start to feel any knee pain, feel free to elevate the hips a little bit. Place the hands on close off the eyes and invite that depth of breath that we just had a little play with in our child's pose. So as we inhale, a little pull of the belly button towards the spine. And as we exhale, just allow the shoulders to relax away from the ears. Drop the left ear towards the left shoulder. And then exhale to slowly begin to roll the chin across the chest. Inhale, right ear to right shoulder, and exhale, slowly roll chin across the chest. Just have a little play with this breath, flying or flowing from side to side, just kind of opening up the back of the body, releasing whatever tension we might have brought with us in the neck and shoulders. Then slowly bring the gaze back up through center. We're going to go through this kind of movement meditation breath. It's really lovely, a way to just kind of open up the shoulders. We'll start by inhaling, sweeping the hands up towards the sky, fingertips come to touch. We'll bend through the elbows and begin to push the hands out away from you as you tuck the chin to the chest. Turn the palms up and then begin to place them onto the shoulders. And you're just going to push the heart forward, so it's this little arch in the back. Then exhale, begin to push the hands away from you, tuck the chin to the chest, so it's this rounding of the back. Turn the palms to the sky, inhale all the way up. And exhale, slowly bring the hands back through heart center. So we'll do a few rounds like that. You can close off the eyes if you trust me here. Inhale, hands sweep up to the sky, fingertips to touch. Exhale, bend the elbows, push the air away from you as you gently tuck the chin to the chest, this sticky sensation in the shoulders. Inhale, hands reach to the shoulders, we push the heart forwards. And exhale, we push the hands away from us, rounding through the spine. Inhale, hands scoop up all the way to the sky. And now we're going to have a little dance with it. So hands back through heart center. Close off the eyes. Inhale, hands reach up to the sky. Exhale, bend the elbows, push the air away from you, tuck the chin. Inhale, hands reach the shoulders, push the heart through, look up to the sky. And then exhale, push the hands away from you, tuck the chin to the chest, arch the back, and turn the palms up. Inhale all the way to the sky. Now we'll do one more round on your own here. Just let someone else into the meeting room. So wherever you are, even if you've got stuck now, that's absolutely fine. Remember, today isn't about getting everything perfect or right. Having a little bit of fun, keeping a smile on our face. Just bringing those festival vibes into our lockdown. Okay, so when we're ready, one more time together. Inhale, hands to the sky. Close off the eyes, bring that energy inward. Push the hands out away from you. Turn the palms up, place them on the shoulder with an inhale. Push the hands away from you, touch the chin to the chest, round the spine. One more time, inhale all the way up. And then see if you can ground the hands all the way down towards the earth. Nice tension to the hips, so just active hands. And just a little sway from side to side to invite a little bit of movement and openness into the hips. Okay, so then we're going to walk the hands back to center. If this is getting a bit too much, feel free to put the legs. You just want to mix it up, or you can stay where you are. Otherwise, inhale, hands to touch the right. We're going to drop the right hand down towards the earth. Left hand's going to be tuck it over. So keep the hands underneath and relax the shoulder away from the ear. Then we're going to place that left hand onto the back of the head and really inhale, open up the heart. So your exhale slowly begins to draw a line with the elbow down towards the earth. Maybe follow the feet as a little bit. Inhale, grow and lengthen. And exhale, ground and pull that elbow down towards the earth. Get that nice stretch in the back body. Inhale, open it up. And exhale one more time, float it down. Beautiful. Inhale, hands reach back up towards the sky. Lengthen here, and then the left hand's going to drop down towards the earth. Nice active fingertips. Right hand grows up and over. Take a moment to relax. Sometimes we can clench in the jaw here, or squeezing the shoulders. Take any intuitive movements that might suit you today. Your wrist might be feeling a bit sore, maybe the shoulders feeling a bit sore. When you're ready, place that the right hand to the back of the head. Inhale, grow the heart open. Exhale, draw that line of the elbow down towards the earth. Inhale, float it up. Exhale, float it up. Follow the breath. Inhale, we grow and find space. And exhale, we float it down towards the earth. Beautiful work, guys. Come back up to center. Open the heart. And then keep the hands back up towards. Back to the heart center, and we're going to float our way to a tabletop. So when we come to tabletop, when you do yoga, usually we try and just focus, don't take alignment too seriously today, but see if you can just place the hands underneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips, actively pressing through the bottom of the feet, and we're just going to begin to draw some gentle circles with our hips. So no worries if this feels a little bit weird, especially if it's pressing. Maybe close off the eyes and just get with it, you know? And you can have a little dance with the music, maybe just lifting the hips from side to side to find what feels good. Then when we're ready, we'll come back to center, back to that tabletop. So inhale, drop the belly to the earth, find your heart. Exhale, round the spine, touch the chin to the chest, gaze to the belly drop. Inhale, belly drop, we sign our heart forward. And exhale, we round, spine, gaze towards the belly button. Rainbow back here. Take a couple more rounds on your own. Maybe closing off the eyes and really feeling into the body, feeling into your natural rhythm, and maybe where is the body urging you to stay and pause for a moment. And you might just stay in it for pause. And when we're ready, coming back to the tabletop with the left hand where it is, right hand going to keep up towards the sky. Exhale, float the right hand underneath, hover it above the earth. Inhale, float it back up towards the side. Exhale, spread it underneath, hover it above the ground. One more time, inhale, dynamic movement with our breath. And as you spread the right hand underneath, you're now going to plant that right shoulder to the earth and see if we can take ourselves to a twist. So we want that right hand to be relaxed on the ground and the left hand to stay where it is for the moment. For those of you that want to have a little play here with me, we're going to extend the left hand to the front of the mat. And with an inhale, sweep it back and see if we can tap the lower back. Exhale, float it forward to the front of the mat. And inhale, reach up to the sky like a rising sun, sweep on the lower back. One more time, exhale, float it forward. And then plant that left hand back into the earth. This is everyone here. With an inhale, sweep right hand all the way back up to the sky. Beautiful. So then we're going to drop right hand down towards the earth. Take a moment to ground and settle. Big toes to touch. Sitting bones down towards the feet and extend the hands forwards. Take a moment to pause here. Sometimes in these more dynamic flows and these faster movements, we can lose the essence of the practice, which is being connected to our breath and to our bodies. So remember, if we're working with any injuries today, if there's any pain that starts to come up, don't explore it. Find something that's more suited to your body. But when you're ready, we're going to inhale, float the body back up, tabletop position, and take that little twisting onto the other side. So now right hand's going to stay where it is. Inhale, left hand to the side. Exhale, thread left hand underneath, hover it above the earth. Inhale, sweep it up to the side. Exhale, float it underneath. You know where we're going here. Maybe you start to have fun with the movement. Connect to the music. And then plant that left shoulder to the earth, moving into a twist. Pay attention to what the hips are doing here. If we're having to pull our hips with the shoulders, that's going to cause a little bit of tension in the lower back. So see if we can just stabilize the hip. For those of you that are wanting to add some movement, we extend right hand to the front of the mat. With an inhale, we sweep it back and tap the lower back. Exhale, float it forward to the front of the mat. Inhale, lift it up, tap the lower back. And exhale, float it forward. One more time, inhale, rise it up. And exhale, float it down. Now plant the right hand back into the earth. This is everyone moving with me here. Inhale, left hand to the back. Float left hand back down towards the earth. Little circles with the hips. And then we're going to walk the hands forwards, coming into a sphinx pose. So keep the toes tucked underneath for a moment. Sphinx with the elbows stacked underneath the shoulders. And the forearms are parallel to the long edges of the mat. Have a little play with our core work, so you can try it into our practice. Exhale, we'll float up, forearm plank. Inhale, float it down. Exhale, rise it up, forearm plank. And inhale, float it down, sphinx. Have a little play with maybe lifting just the right foot off the earth. And inhale, float it down, sphinx. Rise it up, exhale, left leg lifts off. Float it back down one more time, we sphinx and hold it here for a moment. Now pressing through the tops of the feet, tuck the chin forward, pressing to take a moment forward. Breathe into the back body. And then we'll place the hands underneath the shoulders. Exhale, roll it back into tabletop position. Okay, so a little wiggle, just a couple more things on the floor and then we'll come up to our standing sprint. We're going to keep the left hand where it is, pivot on that left knee and just bring the left foot slightly off the mat. Then we're going to step the right foot all the way to the back of the mat. So you've got the hands, the knee and the foot all in one line at the moment. And just begin to draw some gentle circles with that right hand opening up through the shoulder. The inhale opens the hand to the sky. And the exhale draws it down towards the earth. Now we're going to have a little play with floating that right foot off the earth. So keep the right hand towards the earth. So inhale, lift the right foot and the right hand. Exhale, float it down. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, float it down. One more time, inhale, lift and lengthen. The right hand's going to draw all the way up over the top of the head, so we've got the fingertips reaching away from the foot. And then exhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale, reach and length, and have a little dance with this one. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale, reach and length and find that space to grow, and exhale, draw it into the center. Option to stay here, extended, or to reach that right hand round and catch the right foot. And push the foot into the hand and just open up front of that right side. Beautiful, guys. And then slowly floating right hand, right knee back down to the earth. Little wiggle from side to side if we're starting to build up a sweat. Big breath in here. Remember, we can take child's pose at any time. Otherwise, we're going to move onto the other side with that flow. So now the right hand stays where it is. Oh, got a block in the way. We're going to turn the right foot off, keeping the knee in center. Step that left foot to the back of the mat. Just draw some gentle circles with the left hand, just warming up into the shoulder. Maybe moving with the music or moving with your breath. When we're ready, we're going to draw that left hand down towards the earth. The inhale is going to lift the left foot and the left hand. Exhale, float it down. Inhale, lift it up. And exhale, float it down like a little dance. Inhale, rise it up. And exhale, float it down. This time we're going to reach the left hand all the way up and over the head. Length between the fingertips and the foot. Big breath here. And exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, squeeze it in, hold. And then inhale, reach out. Follow the breath one more time. Exhale, squeeze. And then you can stay here lengthening or have a little play with taking hold of the back foot and pressing the foot into the hand. Big breath in here. Big exhale, let it go as you float the left knee back down to the earth, back to tabletop. So take a moment just to rotate out the wrists a little bit. If you're new to the practice, naturally the wrists will always start to feel a little bit tender at the start of the practice. So be kind to yourself. When we're ready, we'll walk the hands forwards about a hand print, tuck the toes underneath, come up into downward facing. As you come up into downward facing dog, hands are about shoulder width apart, feet about hip width apart. Tuck the chin towards the chest and then just invite some gentle movement into the feet. Just walking the heels out one heel at a time. And just ease your way into a downward dog. If it's the first time practicing it, then just be mindful of the hamstrings. If you're feeling a little bit tight, nice bend in the knees is always going to help. And you can get a little bit creative with this. You might begin to step off the mat a little bit and bend into one of the knees. You might rise up onto the heels. When we're ready, we'll gaze in between the thumbs, hopping or stepping the feet towards the hand. So we'll come to the front of the mat and we'll inhale, float the hands to the upper thighs or the shins and this L shape halfway there. Exhale, float down towards roll. Inhale, lift up the length to the halfway lift. And exhale, float it down towards roll. Inhale, float it up, just waving the spine, and exhale, float it up. Allow the hands to draw wide. Inhale, sweep them all the way back up towards the sky. And exhale, slowly back to the top. Just take a moment to pause and mountain. Is the music all right? Is the sound, could it go up or down? Thumbs up or thumbs down? I can't see anyone's thumbs. Okay, is it okay? Okay, perfect. Okay, so now we're going to begin our standing sequence. For those who want to get going, you can stand here and chill out. Otherwise, we're going to bend to the knees and just begin to tap from the hips to the back. So kind of like imagine we inhale, hands to up towards the sky. And exhale, we're going to float back behind you, them up towards the thighs and straighten out the legs. Inhale, hands reach up towards the sky, chest. And exhale, float it down towards the left fingertips. Inhale, float it up. And exhale, float it down. Take a moment to relax the hands down towards the earth. Just take hold of the elbow and just take a little straight. Close off the eyes and really imagine the breath is travelling up into the lower back, feeling that softness. Inhale, float the hands to the shins or the upper thighs, halfway lift. You plant the hands into the earth. We're going to step or hop back, plank position. Yes, guys. Shoulders over the wrist, press the heels away from the body. Either having a little play with your version of Vinyasa if you attend my classes, or with me, we drop the knees, bottom to the sky, the elbows hug into the rib cage as the rest of the chin lands to the earth. Keep hugging the elbows in, press through the tops of the feet. Inhale, cobra. And have a little play with some cobra float. So we'll exhale, float down towards the earth. And we'll inhale, hug the elbows in, press through the tops of the feet, rise up. Exhale, float it down. And inhale, rise it. Then press the hands into the earth, rise up to downward facing dog. As you come into downward dog, that little pedal out of the feet, and we're going to inhale, sweep right leg to the side. Pointing through the toe, we're going to exhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale, lift up and lengthen. Exhale, right knee to left elbow. Inhale to the side, feel that fire and the burn. Exhale, right knee into the chest, and then step it to the front of the mat. Okay, so take a moment to find your foundation. So we're going to rise up into high lunge. The left toes are planted in the earth, but the left heel is lifted, and just rise up with the hands onto the hips. So when we come into high lunge, we want that right knee to be stepped over the right ankle. Just take a moment to maybe have a little play. Take a couple of pulses, just feeling through that strength in the legs. Then you can just stay here with this, if you can flow with me, hands to the sky. Either in fish shape, so you can feel like fluid is open, but the exhale floating down towards the earth. Inhale, lift into the sky. With an exhale, we'll start to hover that knee above the ground, and we'll inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, float it down. And inhale one more time to the sky. We'll float the fingertips down towards the earth. Left hand to the inside of the right foot, and exhale, move into a twist. Reach the right hand to the sky. And begin to draw those gentle circles. Right hand floats to the earth, and inhale, it grows up to the sky. Just take a couple of rounds like that, following your breath. Okay, so when we're ready, we're going to step the back foot in just slightly, coming into a pyramid pose. So you want to aim for the knees to be super safe in this one, so you might want to pop a little micro bend into the knee. Bring the hands up to the hips for a moment, and it might just take a moment for you to draw that right hip crease back, and just pop that little micro bend in. When you feel confident, we're going to reach the hands forward, pulling belly button towards the spine, and just bring those two hands onto the earth again. We'll have a little play with our floating breath. Inhale, float it up, pull belly button to spine. Exhale to float it down towards that front. Inhale, lift up and lengthen. And exhale, float it down. One more time, inhale, float it up. And exhale, float it down. Take a move to forward here. Just breathing into back that right leg. And even if you're right up here with a bent knee, remember that's absolutely fine today. There is no force to work. When we're ready, we'll inhale, float the hands back up. Just step the back foot back, come into that high lunge position again. Now if the glutes on fire like mine, you can take a little breather, just get out. Or if you want to have a little bit more fire, we're going to shift our weight onto the right foot and float the hands behind us, warrior three. Inhale, come back, high lunge. Wobble your way, warrior three. Inhale, step it back, high lunge, yes guys. And one more time, exhale, warrior three. We're going to drop the fingertips down towards the earth and float that left foot to the front of the mat. Inhale, hands float up, halfway lift like that. And exhale, float it down forward, take a moment to pause here. Maybe just pretend for a moment that you're stroking a hand through the sandy beach, just swaying it from side to side. Close off your eyes and just let go of whatever might have come up on that side, any judgments, any expectations. Just allow yourself to flow through this without that act of kindness within you. So inhale, float the hands up halfway, lift that back. And we'll plant the hands into the air, stepping or hopping back, plank position. Shoulders over the wrist. Now if you floated with me last time, we'll drop the knee. Otherwise, the rest of you, if you're with me, we're going to pitch the shoulders over the wrist, hug the elbows into the side of the body. You're coming to the earth or halfway upward facing dog. Exhale, come back, downward facing dog. Now remember, anytime we come to a downward dog, you can rest on the knees, coming into child's pose, or if you're with me, put the chin to the chest, just taking a couple of rounds, finding some softness and some rhythm back into your practice. Then float left foot to the sky, pointing to the toes. Exhale, left knee into left elbow. Inhale, reach it back up to the sky. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Inhale to the sky. And exhale, left knee in towards the chest. Hold it there for a moment and step it to the front of the mat. Alright, so remember to take a moment just to find the foundation. The feet are on skis, so they're on two separate planes, but naturally that left hip's going to want to come forward. So pull right hip forward, left hip roots back. Take a moment just to find your breath as well, just like me. And if you feel confident and stable, hands come to the side. We'll have a little booty here, maybe you rotate out the wrist. Exhale, float it down to the earth, hover the right knee. Inhale to the side. Exhale, float it down. Inhale, float it up. And exhale, float it down to the side. Inhale to the sky. You float the fingertips to the earth. Right hand to the inside of the left foot and just draw some circles with that left hand. Following the breath, the inhale reaches it to the side, exhale, float it together. Then when we're ready, fingertips back to the earth, we're going to step that right foot in slightly. Then float the hands to the hips, come into your pyramid pose. Woo! Have a little breather, just got to let someone in. That. Okay, so we come into pyramid, front foot facing forward, back foot's about 45 degrees. Pull that right hip crease forward and feel you pressing into all four corners of the feet. Remember, you can pop a little micro bend through that knee, but fingertips are going to come to the earth. Nice TP hands. Remember, if you've got blocks or cushions or whatever, you need a bit of support, you can take that as well. Otherwise, pull belly button towards the spine, lengthen here. And exhale, float belly towards the upper thigh. Inhale, lift up and lengthen. Exhale, float it down. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, float it down. Bring it towards here. You might even have a play with placing the backs of the hands onto the earth, just to feel a little release for the wrist. When we're ready, we're going to rise it back up, come to standing, come back into a warrior two stance. Oh, have a little wobble like me. Inhale, hands to the sky. See if you can put all the weight into that left foot. Inhale, warrior three. Exhale, high lunge. Inhale, warrior three. I've practiced twice yesterday, so my glutes are on fire. Inhale, hands to the sky. And exhale one more time. Sorry, I got that breath wrong that time. Exhale, step it back, high lunge. Beautiful work, guys. We're going to float the hands down towards the earth. Frame the foot and step the left foot back to meet the right. Plank position. Remember, you can skip this out and come straight to downward dog. Or we shift the shoulders over the wrist. Hug the elbows into the wrist. Head up. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now just take a little breather midway through our class. Connect the big toes. Knees spread wide. Flipping bones down towards the feet. Soften the forehead to the earth. Now naturally you might have lost your connection to the breath at some point during that flow. If that was the case, then see if you can come back to it. Maybe just taking a couple of deep breaths in through the nose. And a big exhale to let it go. When we're ready, we're going to plant the hands, walking them forward slightly. And we're going to tuck the toes underneath for this one and come to kind of sit on top of the knees. So we've got the fronts of the legs pressing against an imaginary wall. Now, if anyone struggles with lower back issues, go easy on this one. This does involve a little bit of back bending. But we're going to drop the right hand to the right heel and float left hand to the side. And then with an exhale, we're just going to wave the hands forward. Left hand drops to the left heel, right hand to the side. Exhale, wave forward. Inhale, we lift and push those hips against an imaginary wall and really extend left fingertips and spine. Exhale, wave it forward. Inhale, rise it up. 2 more rounds like that, maybe close off your eyes. And then slowly floating the hands back down to the earth. Take a moment just to rotate our ankles a little bit. And we'll move into our next round of standing poses. So hands walk forward, tuck the toes underneath, tailbone to the side. Find yourself in downward facing dog. Now we're going to have a little bit of play with our core work. So we're going to move from downward dog into plank position. So exhale, wave the spine forward, down. Begin to push the hips back up to the side, downward facing dog. Exhale, wave forward, plank position. And exhale, downward facing dog. Sorry, inhale. Right leg's going to reach up towards the sky. Point the toe down towards the earth and just bend through the knee to open up that right hip. See if you can stack it on top of the left. Then with your exhale, plug the right knee into the chest and step it to the front of the mat. Beautiful, guys. We'll inhale, rise up back into that high lunge. We're going to take a moment to inhale, cactus open the arms and straighten out that front leg. And exhale, give yourself a big hug, wrap the arms around the shoulders and bend through this. A couple of rounds like that. Inhale, open it up. And exhale, hug for yourself for showing up. Big smile on your face. And inhale, open it up. And then we're going to drop the back heel and open the palms out as you bend the knee into warrior 2. Okay, so when we're ready, right knee is going to stack over right ankle. The back foot is parallel to the short edge of the mat. And we're aiming to really open up the fronts of the legs here. So we're trying to draw that right knee over to the right side of the mat. Now extend the fingertips out wide. Focus your gaze towards that front middle finger, and then we're just going to have a little bit of fun with our warriors here. So exhale, hands come into the center. And inhale, we float it, warrior 2. Exhale, come to center. And inhale, float it, warrior 2. And you can get a little bit more playful with this one, just have fun with it. And when we're ready, we're going to turn the right palm to face the sky. Inhale to reverse your warrior. So the left hand is going to come to the left leg, right hand to the side. Bend a little bit more into that right knee. Exhale, hands float forward. Right hand lands onto the right leg. And left hand is going to reach up and over the head, carving this long line from the left foot to the left. Now you can continue with this flow, just allowing the hands to rest onto the body. Or if we want to have a little dance, we can allow the right hand to float in front of the body and left hand to the sky. And then right hand floats to the sky and left hand in front of the body. So it ends up moving to this little dynamic flow. Follow the breath. The inhale opens it up. Exhale closes it off. And maybe you can add whatever you want onto it here as well. One more round. And then we're going to pause with the left hand on the left leg. See if you can hover that right knee. I know it's full fire in that leg. Big breath there. And then drop it down, straighten out both the legs. Turn the toes to the long edge of the mat and we'll come into a wide legged fold. So don't go to the widest stance that you kind of get to. Ease it off a little bit. Hands onto the hips. Inhale, pull belly button towards the spine, and exhale, lead with the heart. Allow the fingertips to come to the earth, so nice teeth and hands. Remember, if the hamstrings are restricting you here, nice bend through the knees as well. Have a little play with that floating breath. The inhale pulls belly button to spine, we lengthen through the crown of the head. And exhale, we float down towards the earth. Inhale, lift up and lengthen. And exhale, float it down towards the earth. One more time, inhale, look up and lengthen. And exhale, just allow the upper body to meet the lower body, even if that means that you're right here, that's where you're at today. If you can, then you might start to take hold of opposite elbow and have a little play with swaying yourself from side to side. Just letting everything go. Sometimes when we do these more dynamic classes, there can be this judgment. It's like, oh, I'm not good enough at yoga to do this, or I'm not flexible enough. Just ignore all of those judgments and just have fun with your body today, just getting to know it movement by movement and breath by breath. Now bring the hands to the hips, squeeze the inner thighs towards each other, rise all the way back up to standing. We'll turn the heels in, toes point out. We're going to bend into the knees and just have a little sway with our goddess pose. So I know we've got some boys in the room today. You are all goddesses as well in this. So have a little sway from side to side. And we'll have a little fun with some flow. So inhale, hands reach up to the sky. And exhale, we sink deep into the goddess. Inhale, rise it up. And exhale, float it down. One more time, inhale to the sky. And exhale, sink it back down. Have a little sway from side to side. And then we're going to turn the toes towards the right foot. Bend through the right knee, windmill the hands down towards the earth. Train that foot and step the right foot back to meet the left. As you come into plank, have a little play with that, maybe just walking out the knees a couple of times. You can step one foot off the mat, maybe the other. It's a fire practice, so really embrace that fire. And then when we're ready, either dropping to the earth or halfway upward facing dog. Exhale to your downward facing dog. Just take a moment to pause, maybe in stillness, to kind of embrace all of these movements begin to create in the body. We do these physical postures to create the releases, and the stillness is in between with the chance to observe what's going on in the body. When we're ready, left foot's going to reach towards the sky or point the toe down towards the earth. Nice bend through the left knee, start to open up the left hip, stacking on top of right. And exhale, left knee in towards the chest and step it to the front of the mat. We'll inhale, rise it back up into high lunge. Take a moment just to circle out the wrists, feel your way into the pose, and notice if it becomes any easier second time round. We'll inhale, cactus the arms and straighten out that front leg. And exhale, wrapping the arms around the shoulders, give yourself a bit of a hug. Inhale, open it up. And exhale, close it off, breathe into the back body. One more time, inhale, open it up wide. And exhale, give yourself a big hug. Well done, guys. Coming up to standing, we'll step the back foot in slightly once again, coming into your pyramid pose. I'll turn the back toes out, little micro bend into that knee. Hands onto the hips, pull belly button to spine, and slowly float yourself forwards, fingertips onto the earth. Inhale, look up and lengthen. And exhale, float the belly towards the upper thigh. Take a moment just to pause here. Maybe rocking the chin from side to side, just breathing into the back of the neck. Then when we're ready, we're just going to step that right foot back slightly, bending through the left knee, and windmill the hands open, warrior two. So remember to find that stability first. Where are we working from? Where's our foundation and where are our roots being planted? So the front foot's pointing forward, back foot's parallel to the short edge of the mat. And just have a little bit of fun here. The hands might float in the same direction, or maybe you take it to the sky this time and inhale to warrior two. Hands to the sky. There's no right or wrong here. This is more about as if you were kind of embracing that festival energy. Where would your body be moving if you were dancing in front of a sound system. Then when we're ready, we're going to come back to warrior two, turn the front palm to face the sky. Inhale to left, right hand reaches the back leg and left hand reaches to the sky. Exhale, wave it forwards, extended side angle. Inhale, hands to the sky, reverse. And you can have a little play with that dance now. Maybe the hands float in front of the torso as we begin to flow from movement to movement. Now maybe you haven't had a chance to actually listen to the lyrics because I've been talking a lot during this class, but most of these tracks that I've chosen have really been able to get me through some tough times during lockdown. So I'll send a playlist to you after this. Have a listen to some of them, they're pretty magical. When you're ready, pausing with reverse warrior, right hand to the right leg, left hand to the sky. See if you can hover. Feel the shape, feel the burn, big breath in here. And then slowly come back. Oh, sorry, my bad. Taking out the front leg. Turn both toes to the long edge of the mat. Okay, so we're going to come into that wide legged fold again. So a really nice technique is turning the toes slightly in here and placing the weight into the balls of the feet to help you to fold forward a little bit more. To begin, we're going to interlace the fingertips behind the lower back, so just crossing the hands. Pull the hands down towards the earth and try to face apart. And slowly wiggle your way down towards the earth, pressing the chin to the chest. Where the weight's going to come into the balls of the feet. And just take a little sway from side to side. Maybe saying yes and no with the head and the neck a couple of times. Breathe across the front body. And then slowly float the hands down towards the earth. We're going to take that little beach or sand-like movement again, pretending like you're stroking the hands into the sand, just feeling into all parts of the hamstrings, into the hips. Just inviting that fluidity, creativity into the practice. You might get a little bit creative with it. You can squeeze the hands to the sky and maybe begin to bring in some side body movements. Find what feels right for you this morning. And then when we're ready, we bring the hands back onto the hips, squeeze the sitting bones together and back up to standing. 10 heels in, toes point out, bending through the knees, find your body. Little wiggle from side to side. And we're going to turn the fingertips to the insides of the legs, and the thumbs are going to point out. Exhale, we're going to start to drop the right shoulder to the left. Inhale, come back up to standing. And exhale, left shoulder to the left. Inhale to standing. And exhale, right shoulder. Just a couple more rounds like that. You might feel the shake in the legs. Hopefully, embrace it all. And then slowly come back and into the work by straightening out the legs. Turning both toes towards the left foot now. Wiggle the hands down towards the earth. Frame the foot. Step it back. We're going to skip out the vinyasa and come straight to downward dog. Up the chin towards the chest. By all means, if you want to take a vinyasa, you can do it now, but the rest of us are going to walk the hands towards the feet and take a moment just to hang out at the back of the mat. Again, a little wiggle from side to side, just settling the body here. Allow the hands to be heavy as you tap the chin towards the chest, and vertebrae by vertebrae slowly begin to grow yourself tall up into your mountain pose. Hands to the sky. And exhale slowly back through half step. Okay, so hopefully you're suitably warmed up for your sunny day today. We've got about 10 minutes left, and I've still got quite a few things to do. So if you need to shoot off at exactly 11, I will not be offended. I've just got maybe 15 minutes of stuff to do. So don't worry, we're gone. We're going to bring our weight into the right foot now. And if you have trouble balancing today, if you're not feeling that grounded and you felt a bit wobbly, come off your mat, or maybe just place the foot to the earth to begin with and just kind of feel your way from that foundation. But start with the right foot, left heel to the inside of the leg. If you feel confident enough, maybe the foot's going to come up to the calf, or maybe you can reach it to the inside of the thigh and push that leg back into the foot to really find the strength, this kind of trunk of your tree. Now just bring your hands into heart center and find the gaze just focusing on something fixed on the ground. So we have this really strong trunk of our tree, and it's a really beautiful way for us to kind of explore the movement, the freedom that the upper tree has. So you might just want to hang out with the arms and you can just float them if you're not feeling so creative. But if you'd like, just begin to imitate this kind of wind-like movement and just let go of what you look like. There is no judgment here in yoga. It's really just finding what feels really nice for you today. So just have a little play with floating your tree from side to side. And then when we're ready, okay, I'm not going to be able to stay there. So then when you're ready, bring the hands back into heart center, taking a moment to pause. Be still with this, and then dropping the other foot to the earth. So remember, if you're really wobbly on one side, to just release expectations. On different sides, it could be more stable or more wobbly. So can't be more present than when you're trying to balance on one foot. So that's the magic of yoga. So come into the tree pose that suits this side, whether that's foot against the earth or to the calf or to the inner thigh. When you're ready, just bring the hands into heart center and find your drishti. This is your point of gaze in yoga, and it's really going to help you to just find some stability. Pull belly button towards the spine, find that strong trunk. And then begin to find some movement. Maybe you begin to incorporate some of the stuff you did earlier. There is no right or wrong, and if you're just not really feeling that, you can stay still. There is no need to pressure yourself too much. Just for a couple of moments, and you can really start to feel the muscles in the feet beginning to wake up here. It's so good for our presence and grounding energy and feeling like, okay, we're stable and do that. When you're ready, coming back to stillness, take a moment to just pause the sensations, hands in the heart center. If you're wobbling around, smile on your face, embrace it all. Remembering this is a journey and not an end goal. Really drop in there. Big exhale to let it go. Float the feet to the earth. Now most of you should be at the front of the mat, although I'm demonstrating from the side. Come to the front of the mat, turn the toes out. Bend through the knees. We're going to come into Malasana, which is our yoga squat. Now take the time to just have a little wiggle, have a little play around. If this is just not working for you, you can come onto your bottom and maybe bring the feet to the earth as well. So just have a little play, and then begin to move the hands forward. Just melting the chin towards the chest and just opening the back one. When we're ready, draw the hands back towards the body and come onto your bottom, ending out wide. So for those friends that are struggling with their hamstrings or lower back problems, a cushion or a blanket or something, just put it underneath the sitting bones. It's really going to help you to actually feel into the pose without the pressure of sitting up straight. So that's a really nice variation. Those of us with a bit of hypermobility, if the legs feel like they're almost going towards the earth, pop a cushion or a block underneath the knees just to encourage a little awareness into that. We're now really slowing down the practice. There's no need to rush through these movements, kind of just feel our way through our body at the end and feel the looseness and the openness. Gently flex through the feet, and we're going to take the right hand to the outside of the right leg, just like we did at the start. Have a little play with maybe rotating down the wrist. Maybe drawing a couple of circles, and then we're going to exhale, wave the hands forward, left hand to the outside of the left leg, right hand to the front. So I'm going to have a block, you can as well, but we're just going to have a little play with that motion, just waving forward and rising. Exhale, wave it forward, inhale, we rise up, and just come around like that. Close off your eyes, you can trust yourself here. And on the final round, we're going to drop that right hand back to the outside of the right leg. And just keep it moving. We're going to take the left hand to the back of the head. Back of the head. And then exhale to more align with that elbow down towards the top. Inhale, lift it back up to the side. And exhale, draw it down. One more time. Inhale, float it up. Find a space. Hands back on the side. From belly button to spine as you really reach up with the hands. Notice this little flutter or energy there. And then float left hand to the outside of the left leg. Okay. Right hand to the back of the head. And again, draw that line with the elbow down to the earth. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, float it down to the head. One more time, inhale, float it up, feel that space to up, and then reach it back. So if this is okay for you, if you're not feeling too much pain in the lower back, if you are, just ease off the angle of the feet. Otherwise, we're going to walk the hands forwards, flexing through those feet, nice pushing through the balls of the feet, and gently walking the hands forward. So you might just be here today, or you might be here, or you might be all the way down to the ground, and any level is progress, and it's all part of this beautiful process that we embark on when we turn up to our mats. That one day we might be really flexible and the next day we're really stiff, and that's the amazing thing about it. Getting to understand the limitations and boundaries of our body each time we come here. So take a moment just to tuck the chin towards the chest, breath down into the belly, and a big exhale to sigh and let go of your breath. Gently walk the hands back towards the body, and we're going to bring the feet into the center. So with the feet planted onto the earth, we're just going to gently tuck the tailbone underneath, and just begin this little windscreen wiper movements with the knees from side to side. And you can connect this through the breath. Maybe the inhale comes to the center, and exhale down to the earth. Have a little play. A little lower back love to close up our practice. When we're ready, place the feet onto the earth. We're going to hug the knees in towards the chest, and you might begin to hover the shins off. Now today, friends, if this is okay for you, you might just stay here, rolling the shoulders back, feeling the openness across the heart, and making sure we're settling on that squeeze part of the abdomen. If you feel confident, maybe we start to reach the hands up towards the sky. You might even begin to extend the feet out long. Or you might begin this little creative boat pose, and imagine that maybe we've got a ball in our hands, just having a little dance and just experiencing this more dynamic movement with our core, this creativity into a movement that I'm sure most of you, like me, read in a practice. So just have a little bit of fun with it, put a smile on your face, maybe have a little boogie to music. And then when we're ready, floating the feet across the ankles over, give yourself a big hug, wrapping the chin towards the and then slowly releasing the hands back behind you. Soles the feet on the earth, float yourself all the way down to the earth. And that's really big, my mat. And just stretch out the front body now for that little bit of core that we did. Tickle the backs of heels, just make sure you can touch in there, and then wiggle them a couple of centimeters away so that you can start touching anymore. And this is the alignment for your bridge pose. When we're ready, we're going to inhale, float the hips up towards the sky. Imagine that we're squeezing the ball in between the knees. They're not coming to touch, but we've got that awareness in the legs. And exhale, float the hips down towards the earth. Now a little dynamic movement with our bridge. Inhale, hands float up towards the sky and back behind the body. Exhale, they float down towards the earth, the hips land to the ground. Inhale, lift up and rise. Exhale, wave it back down with the hands. One more time, inhale, lift up and lengthen. You might begin to hold it here. Hands either above the head, or if you're more comfortable, you can place them on either side of the body. Some friends might even interlace the fingertips underneath the back and lift the heart up a little bit higher. Lots of options here, but really breathe across the belly. And then slowly begin to release down towards the earth. Nice one, guys. So I've got a couple of variations for this final little pose. For those of you that may be a little bit more advanced in the practice, if you want to move into inversion. So anyone that practices shoulder stand, you can take this variation of shoulder stand. I'll show the first variation first. Reach your feet up towards the sky, hands towards the sky, and just pretend like you're almost having a little dance into the ceiling or into the sky above you, just intuitive movements, and just finding that the switch up of forces, so it's changing the perspective. Those of you that maybe want to have a play with the shoulder stand variation, hopping into shoulder stand, hands onto the lower back, and you can take the same little movements but just with the legs. So really listen to the body. If this isn't something that's going to suit you in shoulder stands, then you can just play with me. When we used to go on ski holidays, this was called dead ant, where you used to lie on your back and shake out with your limbs. So it's a really nice way to release any tension, any of that last little bit of stagnation. Okay. And when we're ready, everybody's floating back down to the earth. Those of you that came into shoulder stand, actually everyone, we're going to extend the feet to the end of the mat. Take a little counter pose, wiggling the hands underneath the lower back. You can either have the knees bent or extending the feet to the end of the mat. Wiggle the elbows together and just drop the head back behind you to find a little space across the heart. This is your Maritrasana, your fish pose. Big breaths here. Really relax into it. Find some softness in the breath. Then slowly releasing here. Take a moment to hug the knees in towards the chest. Some gentle circles with the lower back, just to soften and release. Then drop the feet to the earth. Most of you will probably be familiar with this movement. It's in my back or figure of four. Right foot to the left knee. You can, before you begin to clasp the hands behind the hamstring, just take a moment just to wiggle the knees from side to side. Feel that release in the lower back. And this might actually be, I can't believe that you might have considered this variation. You want to go a bit further in place behind the hamstring and move into the opening glute. So relax the shoulders away from the glutes. And naturally the breath will begin to wander, the mind will begin to wander at the end of these practices. But what's really important is that we find harbour this energy to create stability. So see if we can now bring it to a state of slowly soften back down. It's going to take a moment to reset the living, exploring towards the side. Just notice if there's any differences to the other side. And when we're ready, left foot passes to the right ankle, a little sway from side to side. When you feel ready, hugging the knees in towards the chest, releasing the fingertips behind that right hamstring. You might circle out that right ankle a little bit here, continuing with that fluid. As we continue through the last few moments of our practice, if you still feel like the mind is starting to bring that monkey thoughts, busyness back into it, if you can begin to imagine thoughts like clouds, outside of the moment by day, they're always going to be there, they're always going to be floating past by. What's important is that we don't get involved and we just allow the clouds to float by. So just float that, I think it's the right foot or the left foot back down to the earth, bring the feet to the ground. And then to close up our practice, just bringing the soles of the feet in to connect. The knees will rest towards the earth, taking our reclined butterfly or Supta and just bringing the hands onto the belly. And if it's really not working through the lower back, you can bring the back apart and allow the knees. Bring the hands onto the belly, just take a couple of moments, connect to the brain. When we bring the hands into the belly, we can actually notice what movements are practicing. So, you can just bring the awareness to Good. Just inhale, how the hands lift towards the chest. With the exhale, how they sink into the breath. So we're going to take one more big breath here. Inhale fully and feel that expansion across the belly. And exhale, completely let go of the breath. So the belly button draws towards the top. When we're ready, end of the mat. Place the palms facing the front, allowing the back of the head to rest to the earth. And slowly come into your shavasana. Now, if it gives you comfort and you really actually enjoy that presence with the hands on the belly, by all means, take your shavasana with the hands placed on the upper body. Otherwise, once you arrive to shavasana, we're just going to gently tuck the chin towards the chest. Gently wiggle the shoulder blades in towards each other. And then just take a few moments. Sometimes at the end of a class, we can feel as if we want to rush through this part and we want to crack on with our day. The to-do list starts ticking over in the mind, but what's really valuable about our shavasana is it really gives us the chance to observe, to absorb all of the goodness that we create in our practice. So just know in these moments of stillness that we have nowhere to be, nothing to do, nowhere to go. What does it mean to live in love? It means to rise above judgment, so that we may see the eyes. Sorry, I messed that one up already. What does it mean to live in love? It means to rise above judgment, so that we may see the world and ourselves with the eyes of compassion. It means allowing the wisdom of love to orchestrate our actions, to always seek to produce thoughtful movements that serve the good of all beings, and to emit the peace into the ocean of humanity with our every breath. Living in love is allowing ourselves to move through life with an open heart, so that all may share in the gift of our goodwill and kindness. It is to ask ourselves, how would love heal this situation before we make our move?
These walls are disappearing, and I don't seem to care. Room gets larger.
Slowly, mindfully, bring your awareness back into the space around you. Begin to notice the smells and the sounds around you. Gently adding some movement into the fingers and the toes. And you can have a little play here, adding some movements back into the body, maybe hugging the knees and towards the chest, or Sending the hands up above the head, maybe taking a stretch all the way from the fingers to the toes. Remember, this is a practice about what feels true to you. When we're ready, begin to rock the knees over to the right hand side of your mat. Pressing the hands into the earth and slowly making your way up to center. And as we come up to seated, just taking a moment at the end of this practice to just be still with all that we've created today, all this love in this Zoom chat, all this connection, not only to ourselves, but to all this beautiful community. So just gently bringing the hands into heart center. And I know this isn't everyone's cup of tea, but a really nice way for us to just finish this final connection through a vibration, the sound of Om. Now, if this isn't your thing, you can just listen to the sound or hum along. We take a big breath in through the nose. Sigh the breath out through the mouth. Inhale together and exhale for Om. Om. The light in me sees and honors the light in you all. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.